Hi, I'm Molly. 4 months ago, I said yes to James Crawford, one of the city's most eligible bachelors. The ring on my finger could probably pay off my student loans. But it's not about the money. At least that's what I keep telling Tara. I'm just saying, you barely know him. 6 months of dating and suddenly you're engaged to this tech mogul? Something feels off. Tara stirred her coffee, giving me that look she's perfected since we were roommates in college. I checked my watch and nearly choked on my latte. Crap. I'm gonna be late. James is hosting this huge dinner with investors tonight. And God forbid you keep the almighty James Crawford waiting. It's not like that. This deal is important to him. More important than you? Because this is the third time this week you've had to drop everything for one of his important things. I grabbed my purse, leaving a 20 on the table. We'll talk later, okay? Love you. Just keep your eyes open, Molly. I rushed to my car, mentally rehearsing the names of the investors James had mentioned. The fall evening was getting darker earlier now, and traffic crawled through downtown. I took a shortcut through a quieter neighborhood where the mansions sat back from the road. That's when I saw them. A woman pressed against a parked car, a man looming over her. His voice carried through my open window. You signed the papers. You can't just change your mind now. Please, just leave me alone! Her voice trembled. I shouldn't have stopped. James would be checking his watch every 30 seconds. But something in her voice, pure fear, made me pull over. Hey, everything okay over there? I called out, heart hammering. The man turned, annoyance flashing across his face before settling into a practiced smile. Just a private conversation. Nothing to worry about. The woman looked at me, eyes wide. I'm fine, she said, but shook her head slightly. I don't think she wants to talk to you, I said, walking closer. Maybe you should go. You have no idea what you're getting involved in, lady. But he backed up, glancing at his watch. This isn't over, he muttered to her before striding to a black SUV parked nearby. The woman sagged against her car, breathing hard. Thank you. I don't know what would have happened if... Are you okay? Do you need me to call someone? No, I'll be fine. She tucked a strand of auburn hair behind her ear. I'm Rebecca. Molly, are you sure you're all right? That guy seemed pretty intense. He's connected to my former employer. I've been dealing with this since I quit. I checked my phone. 4 missed calls from James. Listen, I have to go, but here's my number. Call if you need anything. Rebecca hesitated before taking my card. Wait, you're Molly? James Crawford's fiancé? The hairs on my neck stood up. You know James? I worked for Crawford Tech until 3 months ago. Something shifted in her expression. You seem nice, Molly. Different than I expected. What do you mean? Just be careful. James isn't exactly who he presents himself to be. What are you talking about? Rebecca glanced around nervously. I shouldn't say more. But maybe we could talk sometime? There are things you should know. My phone buzzed again. James, the dinner, the investors. I really have to go. Of course you do. Rebecca's smile was sad. That's how it works with men like James. There's always somewhere more important to be. I arrived at James's mansion 20 minutes late, my mind racing with Rebecca's words. Where have you been? James hissed, pulling me aside in the foyer. The Hansons were asking about you. I'm sorry. I stopped to help someone. Not now. Just smile and be charming. Throughout dinner, I watched James work the room. I noticed how he cut off his assistant when she tried to speak, how his laugh never reached his eyes. Molly, isn't that right? James was looking at me expectantly. I'm sorry, what? I was telling Mr. Hanson how we're planning a spring wedding. We hadn't discussed dates yet. After the guests left, James poured himself a scotch. You embarrassed me tonight. I embarrassed you? You announced our wedding date without even discussing it with me. It's what investors want to hear. What was so important that you couldn't be on time? I met someone named Rebecca. She said she used to work for you. His glass paused halfway to his lips. Rebecca Wilson. She was let go for incompetence. Stay away from her. She's trouble. The next morning, I texted Rebecca. We met at a coffee shop across town. I wasn't sure you'd call, Rebecca said. Most women in your position wouldn't. James said you were fired for incompetence. Is that what he told you? I quit after he made it clear I could either sleep with him or watch my career disappear. My stomach dropped. That's a serious accusation. One of many. Ask his business partner, Michael. He knows everything but keeps his mouth shut. At a company function, I spotted a man watching us uneasily. Who's that? I asked James. Michael Patel, my CFO. Brilliant with numbers, terrible with people. I approached Michael during cocktail hour. I'm Molly, James's fiancé. I know who you are. His handshake was brief. I've been learning about what happened with Rebecca Wilson. Michael nearly spilled his drink. Who told you about that? So something did happen? Look, I can't talk here. But be careful what you go digging for. Later, I found a folder in James's home office labeled Settlement Agreements. Inside were NDAs signed by 7 women, including Rebecca. What the hell do you think you're doing? James caught me. These women? Did you harass all of them? Don't be ridiculous. Those are standard business agreements. With clauses specifically about personal interactions? You're being hysterical. This is why I don't discuss business with you. Those women were trying to extort the company. I called Tara the next day. He made me feel crazy for even asking about it, I admitted. That's classic gaslighting, Moll. He's manipulating you. What if Rebecca is lying? What if she's not? 7 NDAs isn't a coincidence. Trust your gut. I need proof. Something concrete that can't be explained away. Then get it. But be smart about it. Men like James don't like losing control. I stared at my engagement ring. I'm going to find out everything, no matter what it takes. I decided to start with Michael. I needed someone on the inside, and he seemed uncomfortable with whatever was happening. I accidentally bumped into him at the coffee shop near Crawford Tech. Molly, what are you doing here? Just grabbing coffee. Mind if I join you? He checked his watch nervously. I have 10 minutes. That's all I need. Look, I found those NDAs in James's office. 7 women, Michael. What's really going on? Michael glanced around. It's not just harassment. James has a pattern. He takes ideas from employees, usually women, claims them as his own. When they protest, he silences them. The company's flagship product, ConnectSphere, that was Rebecca's creation. My blood boiled. I'd heard James brag about his innovation countless times. I need proof, Michael. He slid a flash drive across the table. Annual reviews, original project proposals, and edited versions with James's name. Be careful. I spent the next day combing through files. Then Michael texted, meeting former employee at Riverside Park, 2 p.m. I found them on a bench near the duck pond. Molly, this is Elena Martinez. Elena had the wary look of someone who'd been burned badly. I worked in product development for 3 years, she explained. James took my team's social media algorithm, presented it as his own at the leadership retreat. When I spoke up, let me guess, HR meeting, accusations of poor performance, then an NDA with a settlement? You know the pattern. I needed the money, so I signed. But I kept copies of my original work. Would you testify to this if necessary? I couldn't before because of the NDA, but if someone else brought evidence forward first? I returned to James's mansion that evening, heading straight to his office. I needed those original NDAs. As I was photographing documents, the lights flipped on. What an interesting evening activity. James stood in the doorway, face twisted with anger. I was looking for our prenup draft. The lie sounded hollow even to me. Don't insult my intelligence. He yanked the papers from my hand. You've been talking to Rebecca Wilson, haven't you? And Elena Martinez. And 5 other women, potentially. His charming mask dropped completely. You stupid girl. Do you know who you're messing with? One call and I can destroy you. Is that what you told them? He slammed his hand on the desk. They were nothing. Mediocre talents trying to claim credit for my vision? Your vision? Or theirs? You signed a prenup draft. Break the engagement and you get nothing. Continue this little investigation, and I'll make sure you regret it. I forced tears to my eyes. You're scaring me, James. His posture relaxed slightly. I'm under tremendous pressure. These women are trying to take advantage. You understand, don't you, sweetheart? I nodded meekly. I'm sorry, I just got confused. That's my girl. He kissed my forehead. Let's forget this happened. The moment he left, I texted Tara. Emergency meeting, your place, 1 hour. Tara, Rebecca, Elena, and I gathered in Tara's living room. He threatened me. We need to move fast. The company gala is next Friday, Michael said, joining us via video call. Every major investor and board member will be there. Perfect timing for a very public revelation, Tara said. I'll need all your documentation, I said. And Michael, I need access to James's private server. What exactly are you planning? Elena asked. I pulled out my engagement ring. The performance of a lifetime. The night of the gala arrived. I wore the red dress James always said was too attention-seeking. Perfect. You look stunning, James said, adjusting his tie. The Bartels are bringing their venture capital friends. Be extra charming tonight. I always am. The ballroom sparkled with wealth and power. Board members mingled with investors while James worked the room. Michael caught my eye and nodded slightly. It's time, I texted Tara, who waited outside with Rebecca and Elena. I approached the stage where James was due to give his keynote. Michael handed me a flash drive. You sure about this? No going back. Some things are worth burning bridges for. James took the stage to applause. Welcome to Crawford Tech's 5th Annual Innovation Gala. While he spoke, I connected the drive to the presentation laptop. When he clicked to show his visionary new project, the screen instead displayed a split view. Rebecca's original Connectsphere proposal on one side, James's identical invention on the other. James froze. There seems to be a technical... I took the microphone. No technical difficulty, just the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, James Crawford didn't create Connectsphere. Rebecca Wilson did. Gasps rippled through the crowd. And that's just the beginning. I advanced to the next slide showing Elena's work. The Crawford algorithm? Stolen from Elena Martinez? James lunged for the microphone. This is absurd. Molly is clearly disturbed. What's disturbing are these. I displayed the 7 NDAs. 7 women silenced after James stole their work or harassed them, or both. This is slander, James shouted as Tara led Rebecca, Elena, and the other women into the room. Mr. Hansen stood up. Is this true, Crawford? Of course not. She's trying to extort me. Actually, Michael stepped forward. As CFO, I can confirm these documents are authentic. I've provided copies to the board. The room erupted. Investors headed for the exits. Board members huddled in urgent conversation. James grabbed my arm. You're going to regret this. I'll sue you into oblivion. Go ahead. I recorded every threat you made. I held up my phone. Including Tuesday night when you admitted taking their ideas. His face contorted with rage, then suddenly collapsed into contrition. Molly, please. I can change. We can work this out. Like you worked it out with those 7 women? No thanks. I'm begging you. I love you. I removed my engagement ring. You love what I represented. Someone who wouldn't question you. That person never existed. 6 months later, Crawford Tech had a new name, new leadership, and a new ethics policy. Michael was interim CEO while the board searched for a permanent replacement. I sat across from Elena in my new office. The sign on the door read, Phoenix Innovations. Our funding came through. We can hire 3 more developers. Make sure to call Rebecca, I said. She's perfect for lead engineer. Tara burst in with champagne. Celebrating your official divorce from both James and his company? Celebrating new beginnings. I raised my glass. And proper credit where it's due. The settlement money from James's lawsuit had funded our startup. After the scandal broke, his threats were leaked to the press, leaving him no choice but to settle. Last I heard, he'd left the country. To women who don't stay silent, Elena toasted. And to consequences, I added, that arrive exactly when they're deserved. What would you have done in Molly's position? When someone has stolen others' work, harassed multiple women, and then threatened you? Do they deserve forgiveness when they finally apologize? Or was Molly right to reject James completely? Is there a line that once crossed can never be uncrossed? Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you have handled things differently? Or did Molly make the right call? If you enjoyed this revenge story where toxic people finally face consequences, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that satisfy your sense of justice. New stories uploaded daily.